So the same thing we have the right to ask God when we need something. But is it because of what we want to eat that's why you have money that day? Let's answer. It's part of the package, right? But is it the important package? Is it the important thing? No. Many families go on holiday. You understand? They spend thousands. But is that the important reason why they have parents? No. Alright? Or good cars. Is that the reason why you have parents? To ride in a car? No. But when you have it, it's not helpful. Now, you cannot understand why we talk about Christians that are always keeping asking God, I want this, I want this, I want this. Is that the reason why they have God? Those are just byproducts. The reason why you have God is what He asks us to. We are His children. We are what? His children. That's what we are asking. We are saying, we just stand just now. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with what you need, what you plan to do next 10 years. It has nothing to do with it. It's only solely about God. And He's telling you who can question Him. If He decides to bless you, who can question Him? If He decides to lift you up, who can question Him? If He decides to bless you right now and make it to be somebody today, who can say why? They can sit in the comfort of their room, but they cannot change what God has done. Alright? Now, this woman was a believer. She was serving God, but she didn't have a child. Do you know the Bible? There were 7 women in the Bible that were barren. Only one of them didn't give birth. Only one of them. You know who it is? David's first wife, Saul's daughter. Do you know why she didn't get back? When David was worshiping God, look at David. You are just disgracing yourself before the people. You are not even ashamed. You should think you are dancing before God. You remove your clothes. That was why she didn't have a child. Do you understand? So, worshiping God is a serious business. We cannot fully understand it. When you go to all those big shows, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a show. Hopefully this July, maybe it's a go. Hopefully this around June, July next year, we'll go to one. God will make a way. There's one big music festival they do somewhere around Brighton side. We'll go there. It's Christian, maybe for 3 days. We'll go there. You see people worshiping God, but it's nothing compared to what it is in heaven. You get to some atmosphere, you feel excited, you feel happy. But when you get to where they are worshiping God in heaven, nothing, according to the Bible, according to people that have been privy to see a glimpse of it, says nothing in this world can ever be compared into it. Now this woman was serving the Lord. She didn't have a child. She had every other thing she ever wanted. She didn't have a child anyway. But this man of God, Elisha, was always traveling. You know, in those old days, those great prophets, they have Bible schools, that we will call it now. So they moved from, he has one in Jericho, one in Bethel, and they have to be in Jerusalem. So they are always moving, maybe I don't know how many months they spend, maybe 2 months here, 2 months there, 2 months there. You know, they were always going around. So, but whenever he was traveling from one of them to the other, he had to pass this particular village of Shunem. You know, remember those days there was no plane, there was no car. They used donkey, not even horses. For you to have horse. Oh. It is for the kings or for the warriors. And the common means of transport was donkey. They were cheap, they are rugged, they are calm. Horse want to run. So you cannot be using horse as a normal means of transport. They can pull, but donkey, they are always going gently and they can last a long time, even in the desert, without water, like camel. With little food, they are okay, but they are not fast. But slow and steady, they will get there. They are good for farming, they are good for transporting. You know, they are just too good for domestic work. Right? So, Bible didn't tell us whether possibly we will have a camel. You know, that is Elisha. But whenever he and his servant were going, they have to, maybe they will just stay in the town, in his family, they just sleep there. But this woman perceived that this is the man of God that is passing through here. Okay. Of course, everybody will know Elisha. So, this woman now, I think they are hosting this woman for some time. That's okay. My husband, since this man is always passing through here, why don't you do something? Huh? In our own house, let's make an extension. In the extension, we'll put a bed, a table, a lamp, and a chair. So whenever he's coming through, he always have a guest room. The man of God didn't beg her to do it. She perceived. Perception is important for all of us. Perception. And then she decided to build it out of her own pocket. And her husband, they built the room, set it for him. Whenever the man of God is passing through there, maybe it's once a year, he passes that place. The room was always kept for him and the servant. After some time, the man of God has been coming. He never saw any child running around. He didn't see them having any maybe grown up. Because that time when you are, even when your children are married, the father still built an extension of his house. You understand? So it's not as if you move to something, you live in the same compound. So that's why the house keep on going big and big. Anyway, the man of God now called this woman. No, he asked the servant, ask this woman, what does she want us to do for her? You must say, don't worry, I don't need anything, I'm okay. And I speak to the governor on your behalf. Said, I'm influential already. Whatever I want in this town, I can always get. I don't need anything. Then they went, oh, this woman doesn't seem to have a child. He now called the woman. Come. You don't have a child? I said, yes. Okay. This time next year, you will carry a child. And what the woman said. They don't lie to me. Let's read it. Let's go to that place. Let's start from verse 1. Who's the quick reader here? Very rare.
2 Kings chapter 4, verse 1. Mm-hmm. A certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophets cried out to Elisha, saying, your servant, my husband, is dead.
Sorry, from verse 8.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Now it happened one day that Elisha went to Shunem, where there was a notable woman, and she persuaded him to eat some food. So it was, as often as he passed by, he would turn in there to eat some food. And she said to her husband, look now, I know this is a holy man of God who passes by us regularly. Please let us make a small upper room on the wall, and let us put a bed for him there, and a table, and a chair, and a lamp.
Stop. He said that upper room, in your whole King James, I think they would have put a loft there. Who has a loft? Old King James will have used loft.
I use
Upper room. Upper room is what? Loft. Attic. But those kind they always have upper room.
Small
Loft. So that's why we have a loft stone. You know the first, after Jesus Christ woke up, even the Holy Communion, the first place he had it was what? left, upper room. And the first church that Greek also was what? In the loft, upper room. So continue. So literally they are making upper room.
So it will be whenever he comes to us, he can turn in there. And it happened on one day that he came there and he turned into the upper room and lay down there. Then he said to Gehazi, his servant, call this Shunammite woman. When he had called her, she stood before him, and he said to him, say now to her, look, you have been concerned for us with all this care. What can I do for you? Do you want me to speak on your behalf to the king or to the commander of the army? She answered, I dwell among my own people. So he said, what then is to be done for her? Then Gehazi answered, actually, she has no son, and her husband is old. So he said, call her. When he had called her, she stood in the doorway. Then he said, about this time next year you shall embrace a son. And she said, no, my lord, man of God, do not lie to your maidservant. But the woman conceived, and she bore a son when the appointed time had come, of which Elisha had told her. And the child grew. Now it happened one day that he...
Let's stop there for now. Now, let me tell you something. Why it was important for her to have a son. But now you should have known all these things. In those days, if your husband dies without a son, the man does not have a right. Understand that in those days. So, which means everything he has to be transferred to his brother. Husband, brother. If he doesn't have a brother, everything he has to is transferred to his uncle. That's what they call next of kin. The next close man that is related to him gets everything, including the woman. And if the man says he doesn't want the woman, now that's the trouble. The woman cannot hold the property of herself. So, the only way out for her was to have a son. Even though the son was still a child, she has a future in the family. Because of the son that he has, everything is connected to the son. So there's a life, a future for her. So now, even though she was rich now, if the husband dies, she lost everything. That's why it's important that her person should have a son, not a child, a son. Alright? Now, secondly, when they called her, she said, don't lie to me. Now, why would she say, she knows this man of God is a man of God, right? But he said, don't lie to me. Why would she say that? That is, don't give me a false hope. That's what she's saying. My situation right now is hopeless. Possibly similar to, not as terrible as Sarah's own, but of course, because the Bible tells us that the husband is old. Old. So which means maybe she's a young woman, but she couldn't conceive. But if the man dies, she's going to be in trouble. So don't give me a false hope. I've accepted faith as it is. Sometimes in life we accept conditions as they are. But we have forgotten, he told us, take everything to Jesus in prayer. Keep asking, keep on knocking the door. Don't accept the status quo. You have the power to change the situation through the name of Jesus. That's why I said, don't lie to me, don't give me a false hope. I have accepted my future is going to be miserable. Just leave me as I am. It's all right. It's all right. No. An act of kindness. How would she have known that an act of kindness will open the door for her future? Does that remind you of somebody else? Abraham. Act of kindness opens the door. that he did not really expect it. Abraham was expecting something, right? But this one, she's accepted faith as it was. Now, it doesn't stop there. When the blessing of God came, it gave this man joy. But suddenly, the boy died. Let's check the act of faith of this one. Let's continue where you stop.
And the child grew. Now it happened one day that when he went out to his father, to the reapers, and he said to his father, my head, my head. So he said to a servant, carry him to his mother. When he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees till noon, and then died. And she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God, shut the door upon him, and went out.
Let's stop there. Something was wrong, right? But you know what? We read what she did there. The room, the testimony she had before God, she took the boy there. And then after that, she went to go and look for the man of God. And let me tell you something. Let's read. She gave the servant an instruction. Let's read.
Then she called to her husband and said, please send me one of the young men and one of the donkeys, that I may run to the man of God and come back. So he said, why are you going to him today? It is neither the new moon nor the Sabbath. And she said, it is well.
Stop there. Now, why wouldn't this woman let the husband know? I would have loved this to be a Bible study. I would have loved to see the response. Yeah?
I think because you get killed.
No.
You get hungry?
No. Don't worry. It has nothing to do with the man. Remember I told you before, it's about the woman's future.
Yes, I thought the same.
No matter what the husband says, it is not his problem. She's the one that's going to suffer the consequence if the boy dies. Because the boy is what? Her future. Do you understand? So, the man, possibly, we don't know. The Bible didn't tell us whether he has other children before or not. We don't know. But this woman, this child, represents what? Her future. If this boy is dead, she's back to square zero. And then, she didn't stop there. What? Let's go on. She told the man, I'm going to the man of God.
Then she saddled the donkey and said to her servant, drive and go forward. Do not slacken the pace for me unless I tell you.
Stop. Now, if you read another version, what he said, don't slow down. What does that mean? It's not. No, if you read it, another version tells us, do not beat somebody. Or not slow down. He is going, but we are going to see the reaction of Elisha. So, just for the desperate move. Sometimes we are desperate for something, but our action is slow. But this one said, you boy, you are faster than me. Run. The boy will be quicker than people the donkey. But as we are going there, go and tie down the man of God down. Don't let him go out. I will catch up. That's what she was trying to do. Yeah, what does he say next?
And so she departed and went to the man of God at Mount Carmel. So it was when the man of God saw her afar off that he said to his servant Gehazi, look to the Shunammite woman. Please run now to meet her and say to her, is it well with you? Is it well with your husband? Is it well with the child? And she answered, it is well. Now when she came to the man of God at the hill, she caught him by the feet, but Gehazi came near to push her away. But the man of God said, let her alone, for her soul is in deep distress, and the Lord has hidden it from me.
Stop there. Out of all the millions of people living in Israel, Gehazi could identify this one from afar. Why do you think so? She knows her very well. God knows this woman very well, too. But Elijah said something here. Something is wrong with this woman, but the Lord has hidden it from me. He's a man of God that knows anything. What you are saying in your room, he knows. If you go and read his book, what is going on in Damascus? Is that the king of Damascus is planning. He knows in his room. So he warned the king of Israel, don't go there. They are waiting to kill you there. He got to a point, the king of Syria said, who is leaking my information there? He said, nobody. That man of God in Israel, whatever you are saying, even in your bedroom, he knows. It's good for us to be equipped by God with power. It's the power that makes a difference. He even got to a point that the people from Samaria, the unbeliever, they come and get help from him. But when this woman came, what did she do? She grabbed onto the man of God. Like Jacob did, you will not go unless you bless me. I told you, don't give me a false hope. I told you from the beginning, don't give me a false hope. Now the hope I have is being taken away from me. The man of God nation was distressed. Like God knows you and me, sometimes we are distressed. He knows our sorrows and pains. And what happened? The man of God asked his servant, go and get something done. But he gave her an instruction, don't greet anybody on the road. Do you know why he says don't greet anybody on the road? You know the Jews, when they are greeting, when the Bible just said the keys, Toby, you come. Quick. This is what they do. When they see each other, come here, come. They be like, one. How are you? Are you good? Two. Three. You know, so it took a long time. Or like when you British, how are you? Or shake, no, they are home. They look at, they talk, and at least 3 times. So that time difference will hinder what the man of God was supposed to have done. That's why I said, don't stop to greet anybody. You can imagine if you have to greet maybe 10 people on the road. You understand it now? But after the man of God went to this house, he raised the boy from the dead. And they gave the boy back to the mom. Do you know what the woman said? He said, now I know you're a man of God. And now I can say, now I believe. We never stop believing. It's just God keep on showing us a new side of himself. That's what the woman saw. She saw the creative hand of God in giving her a child when all hope was lost. She now saw the creative hand of God again that can raise a dead to life. That's why now I know. She never stopped believing before. But let me tell you something. That is restoring a dead boy back to life. But you know she doesn't end there. Let's go to chapter 8. When God blesses you, it doesn't stop there. Whether you ask for it or not, it does not stop there. Tito, can you read? From verse 1.
Now Elisha had said to the women, whose son he had restored to life, go away with your family and stay for a while wherever you can.
Stop there. Why? Look, do you know why would the man of God tell this one go away? There is going to be famine. Remember the act of kindness he did in the beginning has made her future. This time around, her husband is dead. And because of the kindness he has done to the man of God, he told that there's going to be famine in this country. Move your child now. Go to a place. Go and live there for 7 years. After 7 years, everything will be alright and come back. Do you know what brought Do you know what gave us this privilege? Act of kindness. Act of what? Of kindness. Let's finish it.
Because the Lord has decreed a famine on the land that will last 7 years. The woman proceeds to do as the man of God said. She and her family went away and stayed in the land of the Philistines for 7 years. At the end of the 7 years, she came back from the land of Philistines and went to the king to beg for house and land. The king was talking to
Gehazi, yeah.
the servant of the man of God, and had said, "Tell me about all great things Elisha has done." Just as Gehazi was telling the king how Elisha has restored the dead to life, the woman whose son Elisha had brought back to life came to beg the king for her house and land. Gehazi said, "This is the woman, my lord the king, and this is her son whom Elisha restored to life." The king asked the woman about it, and she told him. Then he assigned an official to her case and said to him, "Give back everything that belonged to her, including all the income from her land from the day she left the country until now."
Amen. Can you look when she built the loft? How much did it cost her? How much? The loft was already there. Okay. She made an extension. She put bread. But it is not how much it cost her. It is a heart of giving. But now, look at what she's reaping. She now, the man of God said, there's going to be family here. She left everything she went. She came back. Do you know what God did for her? How come it was the exact time she came that Gehazi was telling the king about everything that Elijah did? How come to that particular time she was entering the palace that they are mentioning her own peculiar case? How come that the king have heard about her story now and said, restore back to her everything the land supposed to have held for 7 years with interest? Did you get something there? Did you get something there, people?
The interest she gets more money, more stuff.
She didn't lose her land like many other people have lost. Remember, the land was in famine for 7 years. But no, God made sure the king utilized that land. The land generated money even while she was not there. Not only that, they pay her back what the land was supposed to have generated, return her land back with interest. All because of what? There are some people in this world you need to bless. Children, learn it. Man of God is, when you see people of God, it's always important. Why? Abraham told us, Bible tells many times these people bless angels without knowing. Do you know? Do you know where you're going to? When you see people on the road, please give me one. Go ever go and get a walk. You don't know whether it's a real human being or an angel sometimes. You don't need to condemn. You don't have, you don't have. You don't need to be insulting to people. Just move on. Amen. It is important. I've told you many times here when I was in the college and when I finished, there are people that didn't know were blessing me. Why? Because my parents had the habit of blessing people of God. Especially if you say people of God, they made a choice to always bless them. And I learned a lot from that. I remember the first gift I gave to one man of God. You know what I gave? Maybe I've told you here. The worst of my clothes that I don't want to put on. Again, that's what I gave. When I didn't have understanding, that was bad. And then they said, go and look for some clothes, give it to that man. That man was suffering. And then, you know what? The clothes I would never wear again. Those are the ones I want to go and pick. That was terrible, isn't it? You want to give, he said when you want to give a special gift to somebody, you better just go and buy one brand new thing and give it to them. Or what you value, that's what you should give. Don't give what you don't value. Look, David wanted to give an offering to God. God was killing the whole of the people of Israel because David disobeyed God. He went to go and count them. He didn't suffer. The people begin to die. So eventually begged God. God said, go and make a sacrifice. So he went. God told him where he needs to go and make the sacrifice. The lamb belonged to somebody else. The man said, take. You are king. Use that sacrifice for the nation. David said, no. I will not give something to God that doesn't cost me. I will not give anything to God that does not cost me. You gave it to me like, it must cost me, I must spend my money. God records all those things. That's why when you study the book of Kings, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, Chronicles, that's why he kept his covenant to David. There are two. If you go and read Hebrews chapter 6, verse 18, what does it say? It says by two immutable things. Let's read it. Hebrews 6:18. Quickly. Hebrews 6:18. Hebrews 6:18. What does it say? Who's there?
That by two immutable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, we might have strong consolation who have fled for refuge to lay hold of the hope that's set for us.
By two immutable things, that God cannot do what?
It is impossible for God to lie.
Impossible for God to lie. Do you know what I've explained to you people at home? The two immutable things are what? Davidic covenant. The covenant God has with David and the covenant he has with Abraham. Say David will forever have a son on his throne. Jesus. That's why he has to come to the line of what? David. If you are come to any place, he has to come through the line of David to keep that forever. Remember when he was doing that promise, he said forever. He didn't say for some time. If you go and read this book, sometimes you tell some, like Ezekiel, I said, third generation, I wipe out your kingdom, I wipe out your generation. Some of them will say, after your grandson will pay the punishment. But for this one, say forever. So God can never lie. He will always keep his covenant with David and his covenant with Abraham. He said through Abraham, the whole world shall be blessed. And that covenant is available to you and I. All we need to tap into this. So I want us to pray right now. When Abraham was tested, if he had failed, what would have happened? When God said, go and sacrifice that promised child, if he failed, what do you think would have happened? If this woman that we're talking about today, Shunammite, if she has not had perception and seen the man of God going and coming, not only feeding, making a room for her, for him, what could have become her future? I want us to pray. Peradventure, my future is tied to the test. Lord, help me to pass it. Look, in this world, we always go from test to the test, to another test. But sometimes, if you don't pass that test, until when you pass, it's not going to take you to the next level. Why? Abraham has a passing test, and God said it's become what? What does it become? Righteousness. The Bible says Abraham believed God and become righteousness. He wanted to sacrifice his son. Oh, wow. This is faith. This is faith. Enoch walked with God. And the Bible says, God said, there's no one that has such a faith like this guy. The Bible says, God did what? He took him. God, on the day I'm being tested, give me the grace to be successful. Give me the grace to make right choices. Give me the grace to do what is right before you. In the mighty name of Jesus. Give me the grace to do what is